final day on an 8-day Anaheim Disney trip.
It's been intense.
We're capping it off with a nice midday meal. What time is it now? It's about 3:15, 3:20?
Yeah, 3:30.
So it's about like a dinner. It's like a heavy snack. And we're at Carnation Cafe right on Main Street. Parade going in the back. Cracking here. Got lucky with a last-minute reservation for 8. Now finding a reservation for 8
for something as busy as Carnation Cafe on the day of is hard to get. It's hard to get even if you try to book months ahead. So this is a dub. It's a little dub right here.
So what we have, JC and I are eating today, a bunch of snacks, a bunch of appetizers.
Yeah.
Over here we have in front of us the Fried Pickles, and it looks like a panko crusted pickle with some kind of dipping sauce. I actually didn't look at exactly what it was on the menu, but maybe we'll let our taste buds do the discovery here.
So just a little bit of background on Carnation Cafe. I think it's very old school Americana menu in terms of a lot of Walt's favorites. So you'll see what we ordered later on, but in terms of what we have right now, we're starting off with the Fried Pickles, which is apparently one of Walt's favorites snacks. So
speaking of that, I forgot to order the peach cobbler. I'll get that.
We'll get that. We gotta get that. So let's start off with a fried pickle. I don't know if this is a Midwest thing. Definitely not a California thing.
It sounds like the South, right?
Yeah. So panko batter.
That's perfect. That's so good. You know what? I think I had this before, but when you said fried pickles, I've had it before where it's almost like potato chips. Have you had that before?
Yeah.
Where they're sliced almost like a little mini ruffles, right?
Yeah. And this is a little bit different. Obviously, it's more of like a stalk of chili.
Like a mozzarella stick,
Exactly.
but instead of cheese, it's a pickle on the inside. I really like it.
Really
It has a
crunchy chili. Pickle.
Yeah, you get the crisp of a pickle. It's not like a chewy pickle. You get like the bite, the snap,
the bite,
right? The snap. It's like when you have like a fresh pickle, right? Like I know you're a big fan of that.
Yeah.
It's having the snap, right?
Yeah, it's the snap. And it still maintains that snap. But then you have the crispy, deep fried texture.
What do they call this sauce? Is it some kind of aioli or something?
It might be some sort of aioli. Nice pairing to the flavor of the pickle. You got the savory, salty outer deep fried layer with the flavor of the sour flavor of the pickle, complemented by the sauce.
You know what I like too? The batter is not too heavy. You know, because when you think about like deep fried things, like deep fried chicken, right? Like sometimes we have fried chicken. The batter is just too heavy. This is almost like a nice katsu, right?
Nice
like a katsu. And the pickle's great on its own. It's super hot.
How do you think they cook this? How do you think they make something like this? Pickles are pre-sliced, obviously. You slice it.
The challenging thing when deep frying something that's wet is keeping the batter crispy and not having, it has to be like a higher temperature, I think, to fry it. Otherwise the crust just gets soggy if it's a lower temperature and it sits longer, and then it's gonna taste oilier, right? Of course they have a little bit of the wax paper here to soak up a little bit of oil, but it's not oily at all. And it's probably gonna be like an egg white or just like the entire egg that's beaten. And then they'll dip the pickle in that. They'll like dredge it, right? And then they'll dip it into they'll dip that into like the panko batter. And then sometimes they'll do it again into the egg and then into the panko again to do like a double dip, right?
But it sticks really well on the pickle. Nice complement of flavors. Very American.
Delicious.
Very delicious.
Absolutely
very
delicious. Perfect.
I'm loving it.
Do you have a D23?
Absolutely. D23.
Oh, there's so many.
Man, we did My favorite thing was the ILM stage prop. So they had like a setup there, and there was like a CGI background with stormtroopers, and we were able to get a 10-second clip.
It was kind of going. It's like being part of like the Mandalorian or Obi-Wan, because they use the volume on how they shoot on the digital screen, and then they shot a video of us walking through the screen. It was pretty high tech. Were you able to attend? You probably heard a lot about it though, right? Every night we went to the Honda Center, and we saw like the parks panel, the entertainment panel, and then the Legends ceremony, and that was probably also a highlight too. Do you get like a newsletter of like after like the parks panel of like all the new things that are coming out for the park?
Like watch the live stream of what happened at the Honda.
Like internally, like how would you watch it?
They sent us a link and we had to click and watch it.
That's cool, because the public doesn't get that. It would only be for cast members. That's cool.
I was working, so I wasn't able to.
Are you able to watch it after it like pre-recorded? That's cool. Yeah.
They kind of did the same thing when Galaxy's Edge first opened, so we were able to.
Oh, to preview it, right? Before it was open to the public. That's cool.
I remember I watched that one over 5 years ago.
Oh wait,
It's been more than 5 years since.
that was the one where Mark Hamill was here also, where they did that in front of the Millennium Falcon. They did the big unveiling. That's really cool. I remember watching a live stream of that. Yeah, we were actually here for the opening of Galaxy's Edge, where they had like you had to get like they opened up in waves, and they had the wristbands for everyone. And I remember it because it was so cool, because my wife and I were walking around and we're like, it's never ever gonna be this empty ever again, because it had such small amounts for each wave, so everyone can experience everything. And it's funny because if you have a certain color wristband and your time's up, then you politely get told to get out of here. Keep moving so the next wave can come. So let's get these fried pickles out of the way that were delicious, and let's move on up the potato soup. Oh,
Okay,
we got
there you go. There you
perfect
go.
timing.
Perfect.
That looks great. Oh, and the chili's gonna be over here.
Yeah.
Oh, right here too.
Yeah. Basically, these are
We're
options.
double souping today.
No problem.
Thanks, Jay. Hey, this Madeline, this is the same shape as the one in your
Cornbread.
hotel.
Yeah, but it's cornbread. It's
Yeah.
cornbread. Yeah, but it's the same shape, I guess.
The mold is the same.
The mold is the same, exactly.
The baker's mold.
It is the
That's
baker's
interesting. Okay.
mold. So what do we got here?
So we have a baked potato soup with sour cream, big bacon bits, cheese, and chives. This looks fantastic. Like I already see the hardiness of it with some big chunks of potato too.
And then, what's the other thing that we ordered?
Walt's chili, and I mean, having Walt in the name of the dish is a selling point alone.
It's a lofty goal to have. And
A dish named
apparently-
after you, right?
Apparently, again, it truly is one of Walt's favorite. Like, the menu is based on a lot of Walt's favorite dishes.
We're talking about like 1930s.
1930s through 1960s through his life, man.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
he was gonna eat something while he was at the park or at home, you know, this is something that he likes to eat.
You know, interestingly, the garnishes are like the same: sour cream, cheese, chives,
chives.
right? And I just want to make a point is that you're staying at the Disneyland Hotel,
Yeah.
and you're on the club level, which has free snacks for a club level guest, right?
For the guests. Yeah.
And then you shared some Madeleines with us earlier.
Yes.
And actually, I noticed that right away, that the shape of
The
these
cornbread.
cornbreads is the same baker's mold as the Madeleines.
Yeah. It's the Disneyland mold.
It's the Disneyland shape, because it's not like a regular Madeleine size.
Yeah.
It's like a mini
Little
one.
mini one, little pocket size kind of, bite size kind of deal. So
Let's go with the soup first.
let's do
it.
soup. Nice crunchy looking bacon, crispy.
Yeah.
I'm a sour cream kind of guy, so I don't
Sour
mind.
cream.
Hearty bite. Kind of show
That's fantastic.
creaminess of the cheese that's melted on top,
You know what?
mixed in with the sour cream.
I like how the potato has bite to it. It's not like a mashed potato that's mushy. They must have the like the pre-cooked potato chunks on the side that they can add into the soup. You think that's possible, or you think everything's just all done together, like blended?
I don't know. I don't think it's blended.
Because I think to make the potato soup, I mean the soup itself, they have to use like an emulsion blender to make it smooth. And then they have the chunks in it also to balance it out.
So they do the base first and they toss the chunks in there?
I think that's possible. To get the right consistency. Otherwise, you have a potato soup with the chunks of potato sitting for hours, albeit even though they churn soup all day long, because it's one of the top menu items. But in order to maintain the consistency of the texture of the potato, I think they need to add some after.
Yeah, because it's not mushy like what you said. Still has a good...
Delicious. Absolutely delicious.
I see some carrot pieces
Yeah.
in mine. It's not
cheesy.
too runny, right? It's nice and thick.
You know, I don't think I've ever ordered this before. Fantastic.
Disneyland got it right. The
I
other
get
day
it,
we
yeah.
had at Blue Bayou, the gumbo, top notch. One of the best gumbos I've ever had,
Is that
as far as I can remember.
your favorite item? Your favorite thing to eat at Disneyland? That's savory.
It's
Would it
up
be
there.
your gumbo?
It's up there. It's up there. The Blue Bayou gumbo is really, and I feel like it's slightly different from what you would get from Tiana's Palace, or even Cafe Orleans. Maybe it's more than the presentation, but I do feel like it's different kitchen. I don't know.
We had that gumbo quite a few videos back, maybe even close to like 8+ months ago. And I feel like they were doing a lot with it. There was a lot of stuff and a lot of different stuff, right?
Definitely.
A lot of different like veggies and maybe beans and all this other kind of stuff, right? And I feel like the chunks were smaller. You guys got to look back at the video because I really don't remember it. But that's the thing. If the gumbo's not that memorable, then it might not have been that 8 or 9 or 10.
Yeah.
The gumbo at Blue Bayou, is that a 10 for you?
It's a 9.5. It's hard to put a full score, 10 out of 10, but it's up there for sure. You know what I mean? I think the only con I would put on it is the serving size, which is a little bit on this side, right? Yeah. And I'm a big boy, and I like a bigger serving size, so that might be where I would kind of take points off.
Maybe next time get 2.
For the price to gumbo ratio, I think it could be better, but in terms of flavor, just satisfaction, really up there. And this is up there as well. I mean, this potato soup, really hearty. That's why we didn't even opt to get any entrees. We just went up for the appetizers because they're really good. Before I finish this, you want to try the chili just to mix it up?
How's everyone doing over here?
Everything.
Did you bring anything for anyone?
I think we're doing good. Just kind of working our way through
Everything's
the food.
Everything's
really
really good.
delicious. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's switch it up before I finish this bowl. Let's try Walt chili. Again with the cheese, with the little cornbread.
There you go.
Nice and hearty.
Good chunk. Ooh.
Do you mix in the cornbread with it, or are you gonna put it on the side and eat it?
I leave it on the top, and I carve a little chunk sometimes to get in with the bite. You know what I mean?
I can't say that I've had chili with sour cream on it outside of here at Carnation Cafe.
You know what? What I like that they don't do. They don't do this, and I like it that way. They don't put the raw onions on my chili.
Yeah.
I don't eat the raw onions on my chili. You ain't mad at that though, right? If they did. But I definitely don't feel like it's lacking that, because that's probably something that I'd have to pick out anyways.
Yeah, I don't mind the crunchy raw onions.
But that's traditional. Like I feel like some people do that.
But here, it's kind of mixed in already.
Lots of ground beef. But you know what I like about the ground beef is that it's very finely ground, almost like a meatball.
Yeah.
That's crumbled. That's a good way to put it, right?
Yeah.
If someone had a meatball and they crumbled it, that's kind of the texture of this beef. And I see green bell peppers, I see tomatoes, I see pinto beans, and of course you have your chili base. Last time I had this was during COVID, during Touch of Disney, when the entire park was closed and they opened DCA just for food. No rides, nothing. Just a bunch of kiosks with your favorite Disneyland foods. And I think almost that's when I was introduced to Walt's chili.
It's not overly spicy as well. Sometimes when you get some chili, it's got a little bit of a kick. I almost would argue that there isn't much and hardly any spice on this.
There's a little bit. To those that are very sensitive to spice,
They might be able to.
I think for chili, there's your paprika, there's your chili, right? Your chili seasoning. But I think they add a hint of cayenne, just like the smallest touch. So you're like, huh? Oh, a little bit of heat in the back.
Just give you a little bit of.
Then you have your garlic powder, your onion powder.
There really is a
Your stock.
smorgasbord of flavors.
Yeah.
And a good chili just kind of packs it all together in a good package with the beans, with the ground beef, and it just makes it's hearty. And I don't know. This is what we were talking about before we ordered. We just wanted to get something hearty, and this fits the bill.
How do you feel about Zippy's chili? Zippy's the chain in Hawaii that has since expanded to Las Vegas.
I didn't have it this last trip that I went, so it's been a while for me to be able to kind of pull back the Rolodex.
It's a more simple
really simple,
chili.
really simple.
This chili's like complex, but it really does speak Americana, like American barbecue.
Yeah. Something that you would get at like a 4th of July, backyard barbecue kind of
Yeah.
deal.
Shout out to Walt Disney for sharing this special dish with everyone here. Hope you guys
Carnation
can enjoy
Cafe.
it one day.
Yep.